Barely a week from the recent release of both the executives of the Gambian Football Federation and the executives of the National Sport Council from prison, the NSC called onto the GFF on a joint press conference at the Independence Stadium and lifted the ban imposed to them by the ministry. The National Sport Council that set up a task force to look into the Gambia's impulsion off from the under-20 preliminary qualifiers a couple of weeks ago found them wanting before recommending the GFF senior executives be stripped of their duties with immediate effect for negligence of duty. Upon approval, Sport Minister Ali K. Jammeh announced the dismissal of the GFF from office and wasted no time in replacing them with temporal successors. However, a welcoming news for the supporters of the Kebe regime, to the delight of the entire GFF members in front of all the diverse media houses present, had the National Sport Council lift the ban imposed on them through the Executive Director, Mr. Abdul Aziz Mendy.
Issues surrounding this football club. And we have been working closely, hand in hand, in consultation to ensure that the pride that we want to lose as a nation is being replaced. And we have agreed that we leave the sanction, that the suspension that we have pronounced with the GFF executive members, and we work hand in hand to ensure that we engage CAF and FIFA for the sanction to be lifted from the Gambia. I seize this opportunity to thank you for coming here today and be part of us to share this information, and we pray to the Almighty Allah that everything goes well and we are succeed in what we are fighting for as a team. I thank you all.
Upon receiving the news, President of the GFF, Mustafa Kebe, on behalf of his cabinet, seizes the opportunity to thank the current government and the members of the NSC for bestowing back the trust once again.
Good afternoon, colleagues and stakeholders in football development. Like we have already had the pronouncement of the National Sports Council, I want to seize this opportunity, first and foremost, to thank the government of the Gambia under the able leadership of our dear President, His Excellency, Saint Professor Dr. Alhaji AJJ Jammeh, for his foresight, kind heart, and his support towards the development of sports in general and football in particular. We've all had the pronouncement together, and all I want to add is that the Gambia Football Federation is working and will work with the National Sports Council and government to go and ensure that the appeal process that we have launched to CAF for the suspension that has been inflicted on the Gambia will be removed. And we are all resolved to make sure that the name of our dear mother, the Gambia, is taken out of the stain that it is currently found itself in. In our quest to make sure that the Gambia's flag flies high, like the executive director said, our engagements have been very fruitful. We have nothing but to thank the government for their foresight, their leadership, and for their commitment towards supporting the development of our dear young people. Going forward, we will work with the committee that has been set.
Kebe further went to say it would be a pleasure for his office to work hand in glove with the committee set up by the NSC to the next general meeting in June, when the GFF would be a year old.
To walk through to the next annual general meeting, which would mean the GFF would actually be 1 year in July. So that event, we're hopeful that we will come back to you with specific details to be able to announce and share with the public what that meeting will hold. On that note, we would like to thank all of you, and we would encourage you, as we proceed in this, we will be coming back to all of you with the details.
It was not the best of day for the journalists who were denied of the chance to clear out their doubts as to how, why, and when this all came about. Only 2 questions were allowed, which both Tita Mendy and Mustafa Kebe answered briefly before calling an end to the conference. For Africa TV Sports, Sajo Sambu.